Well, here we go again. When I find that well-meaning people upset me, then you got to know that when Donald Trump goes on television, all I want to do is smash my TV, which happened today. Luckily, I don't have anything I could throw in my hand. The idiocy coming out of the presidency right now is at a whole nother level, and it's been exponentially stupid since he got in office. We knew he was a dumbass before he got there, and sadly, we've been giving him, or a man who, as far as I'm concerned, is damn near as bad. When I say the lesser of two evils, it ain't much difference. Right now, we're talking about defunding the police. Defunding, nope, defunding doesn't work. If you don't dismantle the systems that have been set up, if you decide to put them back in place, you should have something else to put in place, but you cannot do what you're doing right now and think that anything's going to change. You can see that the police unions are pushing back already, and people are being hung in America. Black men, Hispanic men are being hung, women are being hung, and they're trying to call them suicide when everybody knows that's not true. This is history, it's been done before. But I digress. The reason this is a problem, what's going on, is a lack of history, a lack of understanding how history is done, a lack of understanding by the people who are well-meaning. And it came to mind because one of my friends, and I know her, she got on Facebook and said, I didn't know anything about the Tulsa riots. I didn't know anything about the Tulsa burning. I didn't know anything about it. I said, oh, I've been putting on my Facebook every year for the anniversary. In fact, I put the anniversary of that, the Devil's Punch Bowl, which they don't know how many black bodies were in that. But that was basically an Auschwitz kind of situation where they marched black bodies into an area and exterminated them. You don't know about that. This is the history that is missing. America doesn't talk about the history that's missing by design. And what upsets me more than anything else is I've had to learn my history, and it is the history of this country. But the well-meaning woman who said, I didn't know anything about it, has never taken it upon herself to say, something's missing and I want to find out about it. Why are there no black people in the history books other than people who were slave-like or someone who got out of slavery? And when I say got out of slavery, I'm talking about Frederick Douglass, and you don't teach him very well. You don't even teach George Washington Carver anymore. At least he was taught when we were kids. So you don't teach people who have done things, accomplished things. You don't leave any of them in there. And I just want to talk about how history is given to America. And if you don't know what's happened before, you can't tell what's about to happen in the future because you don't know how any of this plays out. And my problem with this is I've had young black people also tell me, you don't understand. You don't understand our pain. I'm like, son, young lady, what? I don't understand your pain. I was experiencing this pain before you got here, and I'm still suffering this pain. Don't get it twisted. I've just got smart enough to know when not to go out to the house to get jacked up by the cops, but I still fear for my life if I see the lights go by the wrong direction and realize they might go by. So I looked back and I said, and it brought it to light. I said, my problem with this young lady who said she didn't know about Tulsa was she also didn't know about Marcus Garvey. I said, go look at that. And she said, who was Marcus Garvey? I said, I'm not going to tell you. Look him up. There's a video. There's a movie out about his life. It's on one of the television stations right now. You can look it up. Yeah, go get it. Go get the video. Whatever. I said, but here's the funny part. They don't teach you what the Black Panthers actually did. They don't teach you about Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, who left the country. They don't teach you what he said and how he got it done. They don't teach you A. Philip Randolph, who was considered to be the most dangerous Negro in America by a president. That's what he put on. I wear that T-shirt, Dangerous Negro T-shirt around, because you don't know who A. Philip Randolph was because he started a union and got black people involved and coordinated all together at the same time. Marcus Garvey started businesses, created the red, black, and green flag, and a number of things. He's the biggest hero in Jamaica. They don't teach you why there's so much turmoil in the Middle East that involves us. They don't teach you about the CIA, British overthrow of Iran, and Prime Minister Mohammed Mossadegh. They don't teach you that. They don't teach you what the CIA did to Patrice Lumumba. They don't teach you that. Because if you realize that we're the ones who are creating the havoc around the world, you'd also realize that we don't need not only the police and the way they're designed, you'd also know that we don't need the military and the way it's designed. If I tell you to go back and read Smedley Butler in War is a Racket, and you don't understand what that means, if you don't understand that black and brown bodies are suffering right now continuously around the world, that you have a president who got in who also had melanin in his skin, and he still didn't stop the damage that was done around the world. He had the power to do so and didn't. When you throw up the heroes in front of me, I dissect them immediately. Because what we need to understand is how the acceptable Negro is who's allowed to ascend in America. Because they realize if you are outside their control, you might actually uplift some people. And that's frightening as hell. When you got to realize that right now we're talking about anti-lynching laws, chokeholds, and trying to make them illegal, and that has to be thought about. When we're talking about taking money away from the cops, and we're never talking about taking money away from the military, by the way. That hero concept, the fact that you're fighting about people who are treasonous, everything you do in America has been at my expense. A woman just asked me today, she said, well, I don't stand. You want Trump to be president? I said, I don't give a damn which one of them is president. Neither one of them are going to benefit me any way, shape, or form. But I do know that Donald Trump will destroy America as it is set up. Because he's seriously paying his people as much money as he can. The stock market's off the chain, and he don't give a damn about what happens to all of us. And all of you who are suffering along with me who are out in the streets now. Because that's what's happening. You saw a man killed, and you were upset. But what you didn't do was say, let's go get the unacceptable Negroes. Let's go get the niggas that's really mad and put them up front. Let them go up front and say what needs to be said. Let's go get them. You won't come get me. Because I'm not coming incorrect with the violence piece. All that we got to be nonviolent nonsense. They shot somebody last night in Albuquerque. They were nonviolent. What'd that get them? Martin was nonviolent. How foolish. I'm with Stokely. I'm with Malcolm. I'd be damned if you can slap me in the face and not get slapped back. And when I slap, I'm slapping a hell of a lot harder than you did. Because I got 400 years of oppression in this arm. God damn it. So we got to recognize, if you put me up front, I'm not going to say the acceptable thing, because that's everything's being done right now is not acceptable. Nothing that's happening to black America has ever been acceptable. You put laws in place that have no teeth. You put policies and practices in place that are detrimental to me. At the end of the day, I listen to the words that these politicians are saying, and I look at how many black people there are that have been, I'm watching how many black mayors there are of major metropolitan areas. And I'm always saying, please let me give them a chance and see if they're going to step up and say the things that need to be said. Do the things that need to be done. And then I hear them speak and go, I'll be damned. They're acceptable. And here's the funny part. There are those who are acceptable. Then there are those who have been put in place to be even detrimental. See, I don't go into Candace Owens kind of guys, but she's all the way outside the boundaries of what's normal. We got that. Selling some nonsense. But I'm going to go to a Clyburn piece. The witting dupe. Not unwitting, because he knew exactly what he was told to do, and he did it exactly the way he was told to do it. But the Negro who is put where he is, who talks the acceptable game, but when they pull the trigger, it's his finger that's on it. When my community gets shot, it's his fingers on it. And I laugh sometimes when I see them get knocked off those perches. Anybody remember that brother from Oklahoma? He was a Republican. He was out there. He was whipping it up for everybody. That brother was out there. I can't even remember. I can see his face and everything. Former football player, and he was Republican. He was their show pony. Like they got that brother over in South Carolina right now. Show ponies. They perform till they say, okay, we're going to put you out to pasture and or turn you into glue. And you ain't heard from them since. And that Negro right now in South Carolina is talking that nonsense. Man, I can't wait for him to get his comeuppance. It's the porch sitters back in the day that was the problem. They're still the problem. The problems we're still having today is acceptable Negroes. But I went away from the history for a reason. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I said, but I asked the young lady, I said, you know, the funny part is I had to learn my history, but you didn't have to. But I want you to look up some things for me. I want you to go back and check on a few things. And by the way, there were enclaves all around the country of black folks who were doing well after the original Civil War, because the Civil War is still going on. I said, I want you to go back and look, not only Tulsa, because, and by the way, every time, because they undervalue our bodies. When they say there was, 200 people that were killed, they meant 2,000. When they said there was 20 people in that situation, there was 200. Every time they do a body count, guaranteed the body count for black people was 10 times that. More people were killed in Tulsa, Oklahoma than were killed in those Twin Towers that the United States brought down. You heard what I said. If you buy that magic bullet nonsense, you probably believe those twin towers fell the same way, magically. Nothing happened that day correctly. But that's America. We're sold something and we buy it because we don't look behind the curtains. We don't understand why Grant, although on the $50 bill, is not taught in your history books in what he actually did during Reconstruction, because Reconstruction was important to black people. So you don't teach Reconstruction. You don't talk about the president who was in charge of Reconstruction. He's vilified as a drunk. That's part of history. You're not told about Tulsa, Oklahoma, and what we achieved in Greenwood, that section of that area, and why it failed and or was burned the hell down. It failed because it was burned down because they were doing so well. It failed because they didn't control the municipality. Whereas they did control the municipality in Wilmington, North Carolina in the late 1800s, and they literally were ran out of town. The entire government was run out of town. So understand that. When you look at Slocum and Slocum, Texas, and Rosewood, and there a number of, if you Google search black enclaves, it comes up. It's like this. Wow, black people must have been doing well somewhere, sometime. What happened? It was taken from us any way, shape, or form. If they couldn't do it legally, they did it illegally. And every time somebody tells me about these riots in the street, I'm going, I don't give a damn about a riot. That's nonsense. That's the least we should be doing. What we should be doing is taking to the streets fully armed. Somebody said, well, you can't do that because they're armed. I said, but wait a minute. Shouldn't we be dismantling the police anyway? Look at the budget of every city in America and realize that over 40% of everybody's budget in America is about that. And the same with our military. You know, the ones that overthrow countries for us. Overthrowing countries in other places is still overthrowing black and brown bodies. That's America, y'all. We need to wake the hell up. This is the blackening. Being black is damn near a death sentence from the time you're born in America. They are waiting to kill you some kind of way, shape, or form, whether it be with a bullet, whether it be at the ballot. They're doing things that are detrimental to your body every day. Healthcare, education. Right now, where people talking about we need to put more money in education, and where are they going to take their money and put it? It ain't going to be in black schools. It won't be in schools with black and brown bodies in it. If you were to dismantle the police and say, we're going to take 50% of that budget and put it towards social services, you know who's going to get it? A bunch of white women who run social services, who don't know me, don't understand me, don't speak my language, but they'll get the money under the guise of helping me in my community. That's the way this game has been played. This game was played before 1965, when they put all these programs in place. It was done before that. It's been an ongoing process. We need to recognize, as soon as you got the right to vote, the right to civil rights, and all those things, they went about dismantling that and or putting back doors in every one of those laws. And the blackening is now showing everybody that they can do it to you too. The same thing they've been doing to me all along is now what they're doing to you. And you have no power to stop it. That's the blackening. When you have no power to stop what they do to you, that's the blackening. When they yank you out of your car, when you're crawling down the hallway and crying and asking a man not to kill you. Please don't kill me. And he puts you on blast anyway. When he blasts your ass into into oblivion, and then turn around and say he was just doing his job and let him go, that's the blackening. When they run a highway through your backyard too, when they put you on top of a trash mound without telling you that was a trash mound, that's the blackening. When you get this terrible cancer and they didn't tell you why you got the terrible cancer, that's the blackening. So I'm going to continue to welcome you to the blackening while you continue to go back and look up the history. First, if you find out the black history that you need to know, what actually happened, what happened to all these people, what happened to their entire communities, when you find out the Miss Evers boys and the poison that happened, that's now happening to you. They want you to put poison in your skin to make sure that you can find out if you can live through this virus. Test something on yourself. We got test groups. When they're killing your grandmother and grandfather in nursing homes, and there's not a damn thing you do because they won't even tell you what's going on, that's the blackening. Being powerless. When they're transferring wealth to millionaires and billionaires and then closing down companies and you get nothing out of it, your pension is gone, that's the blackening. And I welcome you to it. Welcome to the blackening.